In continuation of the delaying tactics to avoid the hangings, another Nirbhaya rape and murder convict, Vinay Sharma, has now filed a mercy plea before the president. The mercy petition was filed after the Supreme Court rejected his curative plea on January 14th. The mercy plea before the president was filed by the convict's lawyer AP saying, with the filing of the mercy petition, the hangings of the convicts, which were scheduled on February 1st, is now set to get delayed. The Supreme Court, meanwhile, will consider the curative petition of another convict, Akshay. In his plea, Akshay has argued that the capital punishment is being awarded by the court as panacea in the face of public pressure. The plea will be heard at 1 p.m. inside the chambers by a bench comprising of Justices N.V. Ramana, Arun Mishra, R.F. Nariman, R. Bhanumati and Ashok Bhushan.
मुझे हैरानी इस बात की है कि 7 साल पहले घटना हुई थी, 7 साल बीत गए, इसके बाद इतने सारी घटनाएं हुई, फिर ऐसा कानून रखा क्यों गया है कि मुजरिम जो चाहे वो करे। इतने दिन तक ये चारों बैठे थे, उनके वकील चुपचाप बैठे थे। जब डेथ वारंट जारी हो गया तो सारी याचिकाएं इनको याद आने लगी। बस सिर्फ और सिर्फ इनका यही है मकसद आकि फांसी का डेट टल जाए, फांसी का डेट टल जाए। अब वही हो रहा है।
Anisha Mathur is joining us with more details on this. Anisha, with Vinay now filing the mercy plea before the president, even if the president takes a decision today, as we saw in the case of convict Mukesh, is plea before the president. After that, a time period of 14 days has to be given to the convict. So it looks like it's inevitable that the hanging will not happen on February 1st.
Well, yes, Akshita, that is very, very clear because even before the mercy petition was filed, the curative petition was filed in the Supreme Court. So now the clock has to be reset once the mercy petition is rejected, when and if the mercy petition is rejected by the President of India, and if the curative petition is rejected by the Supreme Court 5-judge bench, the clock will have to be reset. The Tihar authorities will once again have to go before the trial court and get a fresh date for the death penalty, and that seems to be exactly what the strategy of the league of the lawyers representing these convicts is, that to delay the death penalty for as long as possible. They've been raising virtually the same arguments over and over again. If you see Akshay's curative petition, he has once again raised similar issues as were there in his review petition, saying that he was not given a due hearing, that the evidence regarding his travel outside of Delhi was disregarded. A lot of things that have already been argued in the appeal as well as review process have once again been raised in the curative petition. And of course, once again, they are raising the argument that death penalty is not the answer to violent crime, that there should be a chance given to the convicts to reform, particularly when they have a family. And remember, Akshay has a family as well, has a wife and children who are dependent on him, and that is the plea now he's taking before the Supreme Court. So we'll have to see at 1 p.m. what happens in this petition and what will happen when the president takes up the mercy petition, because remember, it's just been filed last evening. It will go from president.
Okay, Anisha, thank you for those details. As we've discussed time and again, the strategy here, the rapist lawyer, is very clear. They're filing one petition per convict at a time to essentially delay the hanging further. But there are also only a few options, a handful of options that each convict has, legally speaking. Now, Mukesh has exhausted all his options, but let's break down what about the other rapists and what options still hold for them. This is how it looks right now. Rapist Vinay is now left with 2 lifelines. Remember, he's the one who filed the mercy petition before the president last evening. Now, either the president will accept the mercy plea, but if rejected, then he has one more option, and that is to go ahead and challenge the president's decision in the Supreme Court like convict Mukesh had done. Even if the president accepts or rejects, Vinay gets 14 days time to then decide his next legal course. Let's also take this across to convict Pavan then. What exactly are his options? He's left with 3 lifelines. He's yet to file that mercy petition with the president. He's yet to file a curative petition also before the court. He also has the option to challenge the president's move if at all his mercy plea is rejected. These are the same options that convict Akshay also has. His curative petition will be heard in the Supreme Court. So he's filed a plea That will be heard in the Supreme Court today. He's yet to file a mercy plea with the president. That perhaps will happen only after the hearing in the Supreme Court of the curative petition. Convict Mukesh, as I mentioned earlier, has exhausted all his options. This after the Supreme Court just yesterday turned down his plea, where he challenged the rejection of the mercy plea of the president. So he already filed the curative petition that was shot down. His mercy plea to the president was shot down. His petition with regards to the mercy plea has also been shot down. But it's clear at this point that the rapists still have options and perhaps could end up using those to delay the hanging, which is set to take place in just 2 days from now on Saturday. We'll continue getting you the latest on that story. But let's move on now to another big political development today. Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa will today discuss the much-awaited cabinet expansion with the BJP High Command in the national capital today. Yediyurappa will be meeting Prime Minister Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah and BJP President JP Nadda. The Karnataka Chief Minister has expressed confidence that the exercise would be completed in the next 2 days. He also indicated the possibility of a cabinet rejig and noted that the call will be taken by the party leadership. The opposition parties in Karnataka have been rather critical of the BJP and of Yediyurappa over the delay in the cabinet expansion, alleging that he is weak and that the administration had clearly collapsed. Yediyurappa has been anxiously really waiting at this point for the High Command's nod to expand his ministry, to expand the cabinet, and intense lobbying by aspirants, as the Chief Minister has already made it clear that 11 of the disqualified JDS Congress MLAs who got re-elected in the by-polls on BJP tickets will be made ministers. Lobbying has been on in the party for the remaining ministerial berths.
BJP High Command is not supporting the Chief Minister of Karnataka, Yediyurappa, in expanding the cabinet of the state. This is leading to underdevelopment of the state, and no development progress is going on ever since the BJP has framed an unconstitutional government in Karnataka. The Karnataka government is on deathbed.
Nolan Pinto is joining us with more details on this. Nolan, this particular cabinet expansion has taken far too long, and because of that, there's double the pressure really on Yediyurappa, not just to appease these MLAs who've been elected in the by-polls, but also existing leaders of the party, senior leaders of the party.
Well, good morning, Akshita. In fact, the rebel MLAs, then rebel MLAs, waited with bated breath for them to actually take part in elections, and after they won 12 of the 15, 12 of them from the BJP, 2 from the Congress, and 1 a rebel BJP candidate who stood as an independent candidate. Now, the cabinet expansion was to take place in December. That was postponed to after Sankranti, and thereafter, Mr. B.S. Yediyurappa, the Chief Minister of Karnataka, failed to get an audience with Amit Shah, the then BJP national president. Now, what's the biggest issue is this. While Mr. Yediyurappa wants to reshuffle the entire cabinet, change ministerial posts for the MLAs, and also give those who helped him to form the government, Amit Shah then did not want that. He wanted Mr. Yediyurappa to first decide who will get which post. He did not want to touch those ministers, BJP MLAs who are ministers. He did not want to touch their posts. But Yediyurappa wanted a complete reshuffle. Now, Yediyurappa yesterday in Belagavi, when he went over there, he said that he will be meeting JP Nadda, Amit Shah, and also the Prime Minister, and hopefully things will be clear today and everything will be finalized in the next 2 days. But the issue is this, Akshita, the old guard and the new MLAs. The old guard they say that they have been loyal to the party, so they have to get a larger chunk of the ministerial berths. But the MLAs who jumped ship from the Congress and JDS, they say that it is because of them that Yediyurappa and the BJP could come back to power in Karnataka, and hence they have to get it. And what also creates more trouble is that 2 of them lost. They say that if Lakshman Savdi, who lost the elections, has been made a deputy chief minister, these 2, MTB Nagaraj and also Vishwanath, who lost from Hunsur, they claim that they helped to form the government, so they have to be given the post.
So essentially, this is going to be a balancing act for Yediyurappa, and no doubt something that will be a crucial test also for the BJP government in Karnataka. Nolan, thank you for joining us with the details. The Kerala Assembly on Wednesday witnessed unprecedented scenes of ruckus when opposition MLAs took on the governor Arif Mohammad Khan. Now, the governor was in fact accused of being a proxy of the centre and was heckled by MLAs who were chanting anti-CAA and anti-NRC slogans. An unfazed governor registered his dissent, however, against the inclusion of anti-CAA lines by the government in his customary speech. All the details in this report.
High drama in Kerala Assembly on day one of the budget session. Go back governor slogans by MLAs from Congress-led UDF against Arif Mohammad Khan. The governor was blocked and heckled inside the house. Marshals had to come in to rescue him. Opposition MLAs with anti-CAA and anti-NRC placards accused the governor of working at the centre's behest and sought his recall.
On the first day of the budget session, unusual scenes are unfolding out here. You can see these are the opposition MLAs led by the Congress, the IUML and the Kerala Congress are the other parties of the state opposition, the UDF, which are holding a sit-in protest outside the Kerala Assembly. This is actually something unusual. The state opposition, the UDF, have been vehemently opposing all the proceedings of the governor, alleging that he's been trying to mix politics with his work and he has been working beyond the constitutional levels or the guidelines.
We are rather compelled because we are given a resolution to pass a resolution to recall the governor. That resolution might have been taken at the first agenda. But the speaker hasn't given consent to that resolution. He is acting as an agent of the BJP or as an agent of the RSS.
The governor registered his dissent against the state government for including anti-CAA stand in his customary speech.
I'm going to read this para. I'm going to read this para because Honorable Chief Minister wants me to read this, although I hold the view that this does not come under the definition of policy or program. The Honorable Chief Minister himself has said in his letter that this is the view of the government. To honor his wish, I disagree, but to honor his wish, I am going to read this para. Unprecedented.
Despite the bitter standoff, the governor remained unfazed.
Labor laws.
The problem is that unless you use the word unprecedented, it does not become a news. I have seen much worse than this when I was member of the Assembly.
BJP meanwhile accused the Kerala government and opposition parties of crushing constitutional morality.
This is an act of defiance against the constitutional head in a state.
The governor is also logged in a face-off with Pinarayi Vijayan's left government after it passed an anti-CAA resolution and moved to Supreme Court against the citizenship law. With Gopi Krishnan Unnithan, Bureau Report, India Today.
Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani has revealed that US President Donald Trump will visit India next month and make a trip to the Sabarmati riverfront in Ahmedabad. Rupani said while addressing an election rally in North Delhi Shastri Nagar, but he did not specify the dates. Earlier this month, government sources said that Indian and US officials were in talks to finalize the dates for Trump's visit to India. This comes after Prime Minister Modi had invited the US President at the mega Howdy Modi event in Houston last year. There are reports that Trump and Prime Minister Modi will open the world's largest cricket stadium in Ahmedabad and jointly address Came Chor Trump, an event in presence of around 1 lakh people. Trump may also visit the Sabarmati Ashram and the statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, or the Statue of Unity as it's popularly called.